Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another stream. So we're here really to tackle the main issue, which is where is this Bitcoin bottom? Obviously, we saw the CPI print yesterday give us a really quite an unexpected, well, I mean, in some cases unexpected. I kind of thought this might happen. And if you haven't seen, watch the video down below explaining exactly why everything happened. But we're going to get into where is the bottom at the moment. And obviously, that's going to be done primarily by our friend AJ. So AJ, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. The market's not looking too good though. We did start off the week fairly well. Unfortunately, this towards the end of the week, the market has taken a bit of a dive, and it's not looking too good. But you explained it very well in that live stream you did yesterday with the CPI. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you go and watch that. Very good stream over there. But yeah, we'll get into the technicals in a bit.
Yeah, so firstly, I just want to, jump in. So here, as you see on the screen, you don't not necessarily looking at the gasoline price, although it is pretty crazy. The main thing I want to show you here is just this is the overall, this is the S&P 500, this is the Nasdaq, very much risk off sentiment in the markets, and then this is also I won't get into treasuries. I did that a little bit yesterday, but looking at big names, Amazon down 5.6%, Microsoft down 4.5%. Nvidia almost 6%. So overall, very much a lot of money moving away from the risky assets, even just the general stock market, Dow Jones, etc. And also then that has massively affected the crypto market, which we also will have a look at in a second. And like I said, in my live yesterday, we had the CPI as I was on stream, and you could just physically see it drop as the seconds went by. But the reason why it drops, guys, just quickly to give you an overview, 2 bits of bad news here, 1 bit of good news. 2 bits of bad news is the core inflation rate and the normal inflation rate. These came in higher than expected. Now, core basically doesn't include the more volatile parts of the economy, such as food and energy prices. Hence why this is a little bit lower. But basically, the Fed said, okay, we think it's going to be 5.9 for core, and we think it's going to be 8.3 for just normal. But it came in above expectations, which now everybody's thinking, well, okay, the Fed's going to have to do something crazy to bring this under control, which is going to be very bad for the market. More quantitative tightening, higher rate hikes, and that's going to be very bad for us as investors. But one bit of good news that we did see was this Michigan consumer sentiment. So this is, what do people think inflation will be like next year? Or, where will we be, essentially? And now that came in under expectation or under forecast, which was actually quite good. So this shows that, in the future, people felt quite confident. This may be changed now that everyone's like, well, inflation keeps getting worse. So just wanted to kind of, put that in some perspective. Now, when we look at this on a technical side of things, like what this actually means, we can see this massive drop that we have here on the chart that you've got up, AJ, can't we?
Yeah. So as you said, when those CPI figures came out, we did see that pretty substantial pullback. We did have that pullback all the way back to the support, and that's where we are right now. So yesterday, I've mentioned this falling channel before to you, and we found lots of resistance at the resistance, and we found lots of support at the support. Yesterday, we did find some nice support, and we did see a little bounce, but we are having that initial pullback again, testing that support at the bottom of this channel. As of right now, we are getting a slight break below it, but we are still at this longer term. I say longer term, but because it's on the 4-hour, but a bit more longer term support. You can see that we have found lots of support previously. We have had this slight fake out, but lots of support, and we are testing that support level as of right now.
Bitcoin, this candle. This was going to say this candle that we're on right now could end up just being a wick if we end up closing above.
Exactly, and we could hold this level. Bitcoin is hanging on by a thread at the moment, quite literally on the daily chart as well, which I'll get onto in a moment. But yeah, so hopefully we can hold this support. This is the shorter term support that Bitcoin needs to hold in order for us to see more price action towards the upside. If we break this support, then there's a pretty it's pretty likely that we are going to see a lot more downside. You know, maybe all the way back down to that $25,000 level. And you know, taking a look at that daily level, at the daily chart as well. You know, we have this falling wedge that I've been talking about for a while now as well. You know, last week and at the start of this week, it looked like we were going to get quite a nice bounce off of this this support. Unfortunately, we're getting that pullback right now, testing that support level again, and then you know, that brings us on to this major support level that I've also been talking about for a while. You know, lots and lots of support around this area, and we are, you know, if I just move it a bit, so there we go. We are, you know, at that major support level as of right now, and this is what I mean. You know, we are hanging on by a thread because there's not much support below this level. Okay, if we break below this major support level here, you know, the next target is 24,000, where we had, you know, slight resistance previously. So I don't think that's going to be much support for Bitcoin at all. So the likelihood of it is that we are most likely going to come down to that $22,000 level, if we do break the support level, and that's only if we do break the support level. And the reason I think it's going to be that $22,000 level is because, you know, the previous times, you know, we've had these bear markets, we've had these massive pullbacks. Every single time we have come back and tested this 200 MA, which is this blue line you can see on my screen right now. These green arrows just show you each time we have tested this level. So we've had this massive pullback, 2014, 2015, found perfect support there. 2018, again, found perfect support there. And this was the 2019, 2020 pullback. This was COVID. Again, found perfect support there. We did have a slight break below it, but you know, I blame that on what happened with COVID. We've had, you know, wicks below it. We can have those wicks below it, so there is a potential. You know, that $20,000 Bitcoin is still in play. If we do come down to those levels, you know, it could be, you know, just a quick wick down. You know, I've mentioned before that we have previously wicked down around 26%, a wick down from, you know, around that 200 MA area of, you know, 26% would bring us down to around $16,000. So that's something, you know, we can't take off of the table. But yes, hopefully we can hold the support. You know, that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. There is 1 day and 13 hours, left of this weekly candle. And there is 13 hours left, or 12 hours now left of this daily candle. Hopefully, you know, we can hold these major support levels and we can see a bounce off them. That's, you know, I am expecting us to, you know, consolidate for a bit longer. And, you know, this may not be something we have to worry about too much. We might not have to worry about this break. Maybe, you know, we are just, you know, well, as of right now, we are ranging between this support level here. So hopefully we can continue to just range between this support level, continue consolidating within this support area, you know, coming back up and testing, you know, the top of this support area. That would be great. And that's, you know, leads us on to this diamond pattern that I've, you know, been talking about as well. We saw a diamond pattern on the 1 hour, which was actually a bearish one, and that played out perfectly. So, you know, I do anticipate this diamond pattern, if we do hold support here, come back and test the resistance again. If we see a nice break of this resistance, then I'm pretty certain that we are going to see nice price action towards this resistance area that I've also been mentioning for a while now. So hopefully, you know, we can hold this support. This is the support that we need to hold today and tomorrow for us to, you know, hopefully start seeing some price action towards the upside. I do expect yeah.
I was going to say, what you know, obviously finish off this in terms of, you know, how this might play out, but also, are there any other factors that you're considering, you know, in terms of the pair against like the dollar or anything else that might come into play, you know, when you're kind of considering what might happen with Bitcoin?
Yeah. So we've also got the DXY, which I've mentioned a few times, and you know, this the DXY is, you know, the dollar. It's the dollar, the strength of the dollar. Sorry, and you know, we are in this major resistance level right now. Previously, I'll just go over quickly. Previously, you know, we have had those rejections from the resistance, and we have seen massive moves for Bitcoin. If we do break above this, if the strength of the dollar does break above this resistance, then there's most likely going to be more downside for Bitcoin. So hopefully we can get a rejection here. But as I said, if we do break above that, we could see more downside for Bitcoin, taking us down to that $22,000, $20,000 level. So hopefully we can hold that. I also wanted to touch on the dominance. The dominance is continuing to rise. That's good if you're holding most of your portfolio in Bitcoin, because it means that I know we're having this pullback, but you're losing a lot less. I've mentioned previously, I've put almost 80%, I think it's 75% of my portfolio into Bitcoin when we did break out of this, because I was expecting us to come up and test this resistance like we are as of right now. And that was a pretty good move, I would say, for me, because I've sort of moved away from the my riskier part of my portfolio, or the altcoins. I moved it all into Bitcoin, and I'm seeing a lot less of a loss than I would have if I kept it in the altcoins. But what I'm looking at now is I want to see a rejection from this level here. We've seen rejections here before, strong resistance level. Hopefully we can see a rejection from there, and then that's when I might start moving towards sort of the riskier coins, going into those riskier altcoins. So that's what I'm looking at as of right now. We do have this, potential Ethereum staking crisis, which could impact the price of Ethereum a lot. I know you're talking about that later on today, Ben. But that could really affect Ethereum against Bitcoin as well. Now, this is a very, very important chart right now, because we are at this major support level that you can see right here. So previously we have found lots and lots of support here, and this is a bit like the Bitcoin chart. We don't have much support below it. The next level of support, if we were to break to the downside, would be all the way down at the 0.04 level. So that means you can get 0.04 Bitcoin for 1 Ethereum, and that would be a pretty catalytic event if we did come all the way down to that level. It would be great for Bitcoin, but terrible for Ethereum. So hopefully we can hold this support level here, so we don't see that massive crash in Ethereum. But if I know you're going to be talking about it later on today, Ben, but if sort of the bad news, if the bad side comes out, then there's we're most likely going to see a bigger pullback in Ethereum, and we can see it right now. I've been mentioning if we're going to break this second key support level here I've been talking about, which as of right now we are, there's a pretty high chance we are coming down to that $1,400 level. We're pretty close to it now, not far off it. But yeah, Ethereum, looking at this on the weekly chart,
not looking great.
It's looking horrible. Yeah,
no.
Absolutely horrible. Let me count these quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 red weekly candles if we do close this in a red, which as of right now looks like we are going to be closing this. Yeah. So I just want to quickly say we do have that target at $1,400 at this red line here, because there is this massive you could call it sort of a rising channel, or you could call it a rising wedge. But initially we have broken below this, and the target is all the way at the bottom, which is down here, which is at that $1,400 level. So that's the target I'm looking for Ethereum if we do break this major support level, which as of right now it looks like we will. And as I said, if the bad side comes out in Ethereum, in the news for Ethereum, then the likelihood of it coming down here is pretty likely. So yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about on the chart. So we are looking just incredibly bearish right now. Hopefully we can hold these support levels. We really need to hold these support levels. Otherwise, there's a lot more downside for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I want to make sure that, you fully understand. One of the things that we like to do with our community is really make sure that, you guys all understand why certain things are happening. So obviously we look at, the technicals, and we see the key areas of support and resistance. If you break an area of support, obviously a big sell-off, ensues. If you get a bad CPI print, obviously, a big sell-off, ensues.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched the video yesterday about the whole CPI thing, about interest rates and all of this, like the things that we hear about the Fed and everything, if it's a little bit confusing, I highly recommend down in the description, first link, just click on that, watch through it. It's only like 20 minutes, but you get a live CPI print, and I watched the charts literally fall like through the floor.
And there's
So that's
someone
quite
commenting
interesting.
that there was someone commenting that it was a terrible title, weren't they? And
Yeah,
then
that was
literally
before the
what you
CPI
said
print
happened.
came through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And literally what you said happened. So yeah, make
yeah.
sure you watch that video. Very, very good stream. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
and
was very good. And just another thing is, in terms of the Ethereum. So like I said, I'm going to make a video just in probably a couple of minutes actually,
yeah,
about Ethereum and about the staked. So there's staked Ethereum on the Lido protocol. Sorry, I should say on in the curve liquidity pool on the Lido. And so we're just going to break down all of this and exactly why that might be a systemic risk to almost all of the DeFi market, but also specifically Ethereum. So this
yeah,
is why we're seeing that Ethereum drop, because of the FUD at the moment.
yeah,
And obviously, if we see Ethereum drop, then we're going to see the ETH to Bitcoin ratio just fall through the
yeah,
floor, because obviously it's going to keep dropping the ratio, because at first Bitcoin's going to go up before Ethereum does.
yeah,
Now, if Ethereum also has issues, that's just going to make it 10 times worse. So go back, watch the video about CPI. Stick around later on today. I'm going to be releasing the Ethereum video.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not looking
Just
great in the crypto market.
not looking great at all. And just to quickly update everyone, we have literally, as of right now, just broken down out of this falling channel. As of right now, I'm not going
Yeah.
to act on it because we have this major support level here on the 4 hour, this blue level here. So as of right now, we have broken out of the channel, but hopefully, we can hold this support here.
Yeah, I've just closed below it, which is a
Yeah,
disaster.
yeah,
Yeah, not great. Well, look, there you have it, guys. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, because that's where we're going to keep up to date with all of the charts,
yeah,
and also just a series of tweets. Kind of put our mind onto a computer, and you have Twitter. So, like to interact with everybody on there, and also make sure that you subscribe to the channel and follow us. Hit the bell notification as well.
yes, yeah. Thank you for watching. Slap
Take
that
care,
like
guys.
button. Thank you for watching.